Hey guys, welcome to the Prepping Preacher channel. This is Brother Tim. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, we've had a lot of requests for recipes with our storage food, so stay tuned. As I said, this is the Prepping Preacher channel, and I'm Brother Tim, and I'm so glad you're here. I hope God's truly blessing you. Hey, if it's your first time with us, man, just hold off hitting that subscribe button. I want you to understand where this channel is at and what we stand for, okay? We're pro-God. That means we invoke the name of Jesus Christ. We talk about Jesus on this channel, hence the Prepping Preacher channel. Preacher, operative word there. All right, so we're pro-God. We're also pro-family that goes along with this, that we're pro-life. We do not support the murdering of innocent babies. All right, we're pro-Second Amendment. That means we support the right and to own and to also use firearms in this country. All right, we also are pro-military and pro-blue. We back the police. Okay. And so if any of them things are offensive to you, if any of them things that I talked about just now make you go into the fetal position and cry for your mama, well, this ain't the channel for you, so you can head off somewhere else. And I had somebody comment and say, well, that's not really much of a Christian to tell people to leave. No, I'm just telling you, you don't have to be here, is what I'm trying to tell you. But if you stay, you might learn something, okay? But we're not going to put up with mean-spiritedness. I'm going to tell you that right now. But you guys that have hung with us, man, words can't describe how I feel about you guys. You have truly blessed my heart. I am so in awe of you all. And there's some good people in this congregation, so God bless you. But let's get on with this video. Guys, like I said, we've had requests for cooking with storage food, so we're going to pop a video about once a week. Now, this is not an all-encompassing video of only one thing you can do with the beans. This is just one recipe we use, and it uses stuff that's stored, okay? No fresh is going into this. This is stuff that you would have in your pantry or should be getting into your pantry, getting ready, all right? Getting ready for the hard times. So let's go on and go to the kitchen. All right, the cold weather's come in. It's time for some bean soup, guys. Now, what we're going to be doing here, we're going to be doing some great northern beans. This is a recipe I use. And as you can see, everything we've got here is stored. All right, we have our honey. This is a local honey we use. I have my cayenne that I grind up of my cayenne peppers, but you can buy, you can buy store-bought. I've got the ham here, the 1 pound ham. That's the Brookdale's. I've got my minced garlic. I've got my onions minced. I've got some parsley, and I've also got some broth base here, chicken. All right. And so the first step I always try to do is get all my ingredients together. But after I've got them all together, well, first thing I got to do is I've got to soak them beans. Now, because it's just me and the missus, I'm not going to do this whole pound of beans because, boy, that'd be too much to have to try to take care of. So let me cut the lid off. I'm gonna cook half. So we'll take about a half pound right there. A little more just for good measure. All right. So we got us a half pound of beans. Now we're going to take it, we're going to rinse it, run some water over them as we're sorting. Now, when I say sorting, run some water over them. Try to pull any that look bad. All right, just pull them through. Look for any stones because, yes, there can be rocks inside here. Usually you'll see the discolored, like there's a split bean. Get rid of it. Just get rid of some of these that are split if they're discolored. All right. So rinse them real good. All right. We'll drain it. How you like my fancy drain there? All right. Now we're going to cover them with about 3 inches of water. And we're going to let them soak overnight. All right. That's all she wrote. See you tomorrow. All right, well, we've had a day now soaking our beans. We're going to drop them in here. Gonna rinse them off. Get a good rinse to them. All right. Well, now that we've got the beans rinsed off, we're going to put them in the pan and start adding our others. Now, since we're using stuff straight out of the pantry, we've got some minced onions here. Now, that's about 3 tablespoons of those will be equivalent to about 1 small chopped onion, but these will last a whole lot longer. So I use 3 tablespoons of onion. I use a tablespoon of my minced garlic. Get that in there. Gotta have garlic. Alright. I use about a tablespoon of my parsley. There we go. And then of the dried, I use about 1/8 of a teaspoon of my cayenne. Now this is stuff that I've dried and it's got some heat to it. So we'll drop it. For my sweetener now, I use about a tablespoon of my honey. Go ahead and I take that squirt top off, it's easier to get it in there. There we go, about a tablespoon. Now if you like it sweeter, you can add more. Now a lot of people put brown sugar in theirs, but we're using honey because brown sugar won't last as long. And that honey will last pretty much indefinitely. Now we add our 2 cups of chicken stock. I like to pour it on that right there to try to get the rest of that honey out. Make sure your beans are covered. Now if they're not covered, which mine are a little bit low right there, that's a little bit low, I'll grab a little bit more water just to get the beans covered. Now we don't put the ham in yet because it'll cook down. Now what we'll do is we bring this up to a boil. Once it's to a good rolling boil, we'll turn it down and simmer for about 2 hours. And notice I got a lid this time. Now the secret to keeping that ham from falling apart is to go ahead and get a good fry on it, get a bark on it, so to speak. I've chopped up the ham, so we'll put it here in this little crepe pan and get us a little bark on it, or brown it. All right. I had somebody on one of the videos go, they don't understand my slang. I didn't know I had slang, but I guess I do. I mean, we call it bark when we're barbecuing, where we can get it all. I'll reach in there, get them broke up. Sometimes hard to do. All right. But we got our beans. Now our beans, I'm going to turn the camera here, and you can see they're boiling. We got them going, so we're going to turn the heat down on them. Down to a low. Now we'll leave them simmering for about 2 hours. And once we get this done, we'll just set it to the side once we get it brown. That way we can drop it in later, because you don't want to drop it in now because the beans would cook it down, and we don't want to do that. So drop it in about the last 30-45 minutes that we're cooking the beans when we're simmering them. All right, you can see as it's starting to turn color there. Like I said, we'll hold off on them for about an hour and a half and then drop them in the beans. All right, now we've been running about 2 hours. Now in that last hour, I dropped a little half a teaspoon of baking powder. That gets the beans a little bit creamier. Now these have a little bit of sweet to them, so if you don't like them sweet, you can cut back on the honey. Be very careful with the salt. If you notice, I didn't add any salt because I had that stock coming in. You don't want to have too much. You can always put more on it, but you can't take it out. Now the only thing missing out of this bowl right now is a spoon and a good old piece of cornbread. Now, as old Julia Child used to say, bon appetit, or as we say in the hills of Kentucky, let's eat. Well, as you can see, it's a real simple recipe, and I'll have it down in the description for you there, so you don't have to try to pause it and see what all I'm putting in there. But it's just a simple recipe, and that's what we got to do. You got to start building up your recipes now for that storage food. Remember, store what you eat what you store, and make sure that you like what you've got up there and you can cook with it. Make sure you got the spices you need. Make sure you've got all the items that you're going to need so that you can have a good food. You know, people say, well, I've got my rice, I got my beans, but that can get old if there's not any flavor to it and you haven't tried the recipes too. There may be some recipes you try that you may not want to eat again. So, guys, I love you and I want the best for you. Until I see you again, I'm praying that God may richly bless you, that you will continue to stand in that gap. This is the Prepping Preacher, guys. I'm out of here and going to eat some beans. God bless you.